Hey, good morning. This is Mrs. White. This is my first YouTube live stream, but we had a late start yesterday because of weather, so I had a lot of kids miss this lesson. I'm going to do it now, and hopefully it's all going to go smoothly, but please forgive. It's the first live stream, so if it's bumpy, it's bumpy. I tend to learn things by just jumping in. All right, so what I want you to do in your notebooks, guys, is just fold it and crease it this way. So we have a line down the middle, title it, exponents, find mistakes. That's what we're doing. And then we're going to draw a line down the middle. And so I have a little story to tell you about the set, just to kind of set up this lesson. There is our class mascot is Creepy Baby. There she is. And so let's pretend I gave her one of your quizzes. And so she took the quiz and she made a lot of the same mistakes that all my students are making. Well, maybe not all, but yeah, very common mistakes. So I'm going to show you the problems and those common mistakes. We're going to put those right here. And then you are going to make a decision about whether or not it's correct or incorrect. And this all goes in your notebooks. If you're in my class, this will be graded. And if it's incorrect, you're going to have to redo it. Okay, so to make this video go just a little bit faster, since you're watching it, and I know you can, on the replay, do a pause, I am going to put the problems over here, and I'm going to put Creepy Baby's answers here. You're going to do this part on this side on your own. But after I have all the problems here, I'll come back in and fill that up with you. So we have to check and make sure, because this is going to be, right now, it's kind of an inventory of whether or not you know these exponent rules. Use your notes, use the exponent book that we made in class. Here we go. Number 1. 10x to the 5th times x to the 7th times 2x. So you have to do, well, I'm going to show you Creepy Baby's answer. She put 20x to the 12th. You have to decide if that's correct or not. And if it's not, you have to redo it. Here's a big hint. There's only a couple of these that are correct today because I need you to practice finding your own mistakes before you give me something to grade. All right, number 2. 3x to the 5th times 5x to the 10th. And the answer she gave me was 8x to the 15th. Is that right? Or is that wrong? You make the decision. If it's wrong, you have to redo it over here on this side. Number 3. 5x to the 0 power times 7x to the 9th times x to the 8th. And her answer was 7x to the 17th. When she showed me some work, I'll put the work on here too, but a lot of times people are doing these, using the rules and kind of doing it in their heads for the most part, which is fine. But if you make a mistake, you got to go back in and double check it. Okay, number 4. X cubed times x to the 0 times y to the 8th. For anybody who isn't in my class, this would be a great review for an algebra quiz you may have coming up. All right, Creepy Baby's answer here was x cubed y to the 8th. Now again, remember, if you are in my class, I expect you to be working them after I put them on here. So pause. And if you're watching on the replay, which most of you are because nobody's in the room right now, it is, 7 a.m. here, 7 a.m. 5 o'clock. I want you to or 5 o'clock. Number 5, rewrite x to the negative 5 with positive exponents. All right, and her answer on this one was negative 5x. All right, I'm at the bottom of the page. I have to set up a second page. You can go to the back of yours because you're probably just using a pencil. But mine bleed through, so I got to set up a new one. So I fold it to put a crease. And then I'm going to draw that line down the middle. Okay, this morning we have 8 of these. There's another 12 coming if I decide to do that many. But yesterday and today and the classes I have today who haven't done this, we're just doing 8. So here's 6, number 6. The problem was 2x to the 9th squared. And her answer was 2x to the 18th. Is that correct? Then you write correct over here. If it wasn't correct, you have to redo it. You have to find the mistake. Bonus points for you for learning if you can actually explain what the mistake is. Number 7, x cubed. And Creepy Baby's answer here was x to the 6th. Is that right? Is that wrong? If it's wrong, redo it. Make sure you understand what the mistake was. And the last one was 8. This is the last one we did for this lesson. But I'm going to go back and do the solutions here in a sec after you guys work on these. 2x squared cubed and x squared to the 0 power. And her answer, when she gave me some work on this one, so she did 2 cubed, x squared cubed. So it looks like she just brought that power in, and then she put x squared. Then from here, she multiplied that out to get 8 x squared, x to the 6, x squared, and her final answer was 8x to the 8th. So is that correct? Or did she make a mistake somewhere? Again, if you're watching on the replay, which I assume most of you will be, go ahead, pause, go back and rework these problems and see if she made errors. And I am going to take a sip of coffee and start working them out for you. Okay, we're trying this with live because I just really don't have time anymore to do a lot of video editing. And I do have comments shut off for this morning since it's my first live. I just wanted to focus on getting this information up. And in the future, I think I'll probably do this again, but we'll see how it turns out. If I have a lot of tech issues I have to fix, then I might need a minute to be able to figure out how to do everything. Okay, so let's work on this one. This answer for the number 1 If you said it was incorrect, this is wrong. This is wrong. She made a mistake. No big deal. It was a very small mistake. And hopefully you caught that. But let me expand this out. Like, I can go over the rules and all that, and I will when it's necessary. But right now, guys, if you don't understand the rules, or if the rules are confusing, you don't know when to add, you don't know when to multiply, all of that, that would cause you to get things wrong when you would otherwise get them right if you expand it. So if I expand this out, 10x to the fifth is 10, and then 5x's multiplied together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the first term. The second term is 7x's multiplied together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the last one that's being multiplied is 2x, which is 2, and another x. So if you just do the math that you're looking at now, you have all of these numbers being multiplied together. So 10 and 2 is 20. So she got that part right. But she didn't count up the x's properly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, so go back and look at her work. What she did, and she really didn't make a big mistake. She used the rule properly. She added 5 and 7, and that comes out to be 12, but she forgot this guy. So this x is there. If there's only one of them, they don't put an exponent on it. It's 1, but you have to remember. So she should have done 5 plus 7 plus 1, 13. All right, number 2. What do you think? What did you get? Hopefully you realize that that's a wrong answer as well. But not a huge mistake. It's just that these numbers are being multiplied. So she added 3 and 5 when she should have been multiplying them. So it's 15. She got the exponents right. I've got 5x's here being multiplied times another 10. That makes 15. So that would have been the correct answer with this one. All right, this guy, this is also wrong. And what she did was kind of confusing a little bit, but she didn't ignore the 5. Here's what I think she did. And I've seen this on people's papers. They will think that the exponent that they are looking at is attached to the x and the number in front of the x. Like they go together like they're parentheses. But this is not that. So if I wanted the 0 exponent to apply to the 5, then that would have been the case. And the reason that's important is because we know that anything raised to the 0 exponent is going to equal 1. So this is 1 times 1. And I think that's what she did here. That's the only explanation I have for the 5 just disappearing. So what really is going on here is you have a 5, and then you have x to the 0 power by itself. That is 1. Then you have 7x to the 9th and 8x to the 8th. Well, 5 times 1 times 7 is 35. And she got the exponent on the x's correctly. There's 9 here and 8 there, so altogether that's 17. Okay, number 4. Number 4, she got this one correct. This is right, because that is a 1. X to the 0 power is 1. So just correct. So the only thing that's left is x cubed times y to the 8th. So that one's right. Okay, number 5. The most common mistake with this one is that people really have no idea what's going on. And this is the case where if you've forgotten this, go ahead and look at your notes right now. We did a whole page of examples on what to do with negative exponents. So x to the negative 5th equals 1 over x to the 5th. So just from experience, that's what they're asking for. When they say rewrite with positive exponents, you see me doing it, that means now you've seen it. You need to remember that. It's in your notes, so you don't have to totally memorize it, but this is what they're talking about doing. All right, let's go to the number 6. Number 6, did she get that right or did she get that wrong? Yeah, she got that wrong. I mean, come on, I'm not going to give you a bunch of correct answers, right? That isn't going to help you. You have to spot mistakes. So where is the mistake? Well, it's the power up rule. It's the power of a power rule kind of thing. No, that's not the right way to say it. I just called it the power up rule. But if you wrote this out, like you're not sure, write it out. You have 2x to the 9th squared. Well, that is 2x to the 9th times itself twice. If you write it out like this, maybe you don't have to write all the x's out. Maybe you don't have to completely expand it. But if you write it out like this without that exponent on the outside, maybe you can see what she did wrong. She forgot to square the 2 right here. So the answer is 4x to the 18th. She got the exponent right here, but she didn't apply that power to the number. Okay, number 7. This is incorrect. And again, what she did is she added here when she should have multiplied. So the correct answer is x to the 9th. Very common mistake. And something else I saw some kids do, it is also not 3 cubed. Somebody gave me an answer of x to the 27th. That's not what's going on. You never do this, where you see an exponent and then they pop another exponent on there. We're not doing that. So don't do that. This is not happening. So you're either going to be adding your exponents or multiplying your exponents. You're not raising an exponent to another power. All right, now number 8. This one's really tricky because she made a very small mistake, and not even like she didn't understand. It's just kind of like she just kind of was going too fast. So if we look at her work, she powered this up properly. This exponent has to go on everything inside. So she put it on the 2, which is correct, and she put it on the x squared, which is correct. But what she didn't do here was multiply the 2 times the 0. So her mistake is just recopying the x squared. That's the only mistake she made on this one. So to redo it, I'm going to recopy her work from this line. That would be x to the 6 because you multiply when you're powering up. But instead of x squared, this should have been x to the 0. And we know x to the 0 turns into a 1. So we have 8, 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, x to the 6 times 1, and the answer is 8x to the 6th. Okay, again, if you're in my class, this stuff has to be in your notebook, and bring me all your questions in class. If you aren't in my class, go ahead and leave me a message on something. Make a comment down below if it'll let you still make comments after I end this live stream. Like I said, I'm not familiar, so we'll see what happens. If this worked out pretty well, I'll go ahead and do another live stream again with these lessons so that you can follow along with what's going on in my class. Thank you guys. Have a really good day. Bye.